LG skipped its usual Mobile World Congress announcement this year in favor of its own timeline, reportedly because the company canceled the original design for the phone. While we don't have the ins and outs of what could have been, what we're seeing is certainly a direct result of industry trends, some of which are certainly positive while others are questionable. Meet the LG G7, an evolution of design language from the company's 2017 flagships, with some clear inspiration from the latest iPhone. Sporting a rather tall 6.1 HDR display with a 19.5 by 9 aspect ratio, and of course a notch since it's 2018 and that's apparently a thing. LG is also utilizing a new type of LCD display for mobile phones on the G7. Pulling the same M+ technology from its LCD TVs, the display on the G7 utilizes an RGBW configuration, meaning a separate white pixel is included in the traditional stripe of red, green, and blue ones. This allows LG to make a display that appears brighter to our eyes without actually having to increase energy consumption from a brighter backlight, a purported 35% energy savings according to LG. LG states that this display can get up to 1,000 nits of brightness, which means a stupid bright display when needed, to say the least. The biggest problem with the display is, of course, the notch, which feels more like an addition for look's sake rather than something actually beneficial in order to minimize bezels as much as possible. LG does offer some pretty cool ways to hide the notch though, and being a 19.5 by 9 aspect ratio means the status bar will never encroach upon actual content, so the notch won't show up while watching a video, for instance. LG refers to it as a second screen, but we're not sure exactly why just yet, as it doesn't seem to behave like the similarly named ideas from LG's past V-series phones. We'll just have to see over time whether or not this is actually a useful thing, but it certainly seems questionable at the current moment. The rest of the body is similar to the V30 in size and shape, which is a very good thing, and LG is utilizing a new seal design for the IP68 water and dust resistance to turn the phone into a big resonant speaker, which it appropriately calls the boombox speaker. DTS-X 7.1 virtual surround sound is then used to further enhance this new hardware configuration, and while it's still a bottom-firing speaker in the end, LG is working some pretty interesting tricks to enhance that. The 3.5mm audio jack with quad DAC is still here for ultra good quality wired sound, and the new master quality renderer reduces crosstalk and is supposed to make the audio even better than before. On the side of the phone you'll find a dedicated Google Assistant key, a clear take on Samsung's designs, but we're not 100% sure why. There's still a virtual navigation bar at the bottom of the screen, so it feels a bit redundant for now, but you can use Assistant offline from what we can tell, and it's a nice enhancement. LG has also worked with Google to integrate new commands specific to LG products, like its line of appliances, which ties in with the name of the phone. It's also got a super far-field mic setup on the phone, like a smart speaker, which increases recognition accuracy considerably. You'll find the same size 3000 mAh battery inside as previous generations, and LG is once again packing in wireless charging and that latest Qualcomm quick charging standard as well. A Snapdragon 845 SoC powers the phone, and surprisingly only 4 gigs of RAM is inside. You'll also find microSD card support in the SIM tray. LG is of course upgrading the camera hardware, but it's also changing some things up too. Dual 16 megapixel sensors can be found in the back now, and while the secondary camera is still a wide angle one, that angle has been reduced from 120 degrees down to 107 degrees. LG says this reduces distortion and enables the ability for portrait mode and other similar shot types, although the new upgraded 8 megapixel front-facing camera also supports portrait mode, despite being a single camera. At the very least, the notch gives LG more room to put a larger front-facing sensor on the phone, something it definitely needed to do over last year's V30, and it's also got a nice wide 90-degree angle too. The rear cameras are able to do pixel binning just like on the V30s, although with new hardware support, LG is stating that photos are 4 times brighter than the G6 thanks to the binning in that low light mode. All the AI functionality in the camera is here, plus some additional scene types, which at least in our testing definitely helps improve image quality in many conditions, and LG also offers 4 filters per each scene type. All in all, it's a pretty substantial upgrade from the G6, and despite the questionable notch, could very well be the phone to get, especially if it comes in at a good price. There's no official price yet, but LG is shooting for the bottom end of flagship pricing as we were told, which typically means under $700. It'll ship in Platinum Gray, Moroccan Blue, Aurora Black, and Raspberry Rose. We hope you enjoyed that hands-on and will subscribe to us for regularly updated content. Chat with us on your favorite social media network, and don't forget to check out AndroidHeadlines.com for 24/7 tech news coverage. Thanks for watching, and until next time.